Real of you, man, on that Explore page. That girl you did that podcast with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the Explore page? That's so cool.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this shit old as hell. I thought this shit just happened. But for some reason, the shit you said about, bro, that was one of the craziest bars I ever heard. You said, you was like, nah, niggas be making all these excuses, but instead of worrying about that new iPhone, it's like your kid is the new.
Yeah, it's the latest generation.
The latest. I was like, damn, what the fuck? I was like, fuck, I hate she said that shit. I wish I could have used that. I would have paid for that shit. That was hard as it, man.
You know what's crazy? What you saying you would have paid for it? Because my mom is trying to get me to. She was like, Ashley, I'm telling you, because I be preaching and shit, and she be like, I be coming up with jokes and stuff, and she was like, you could really be a ghostwriter for, like, politicians, for comedians, for anybody, like, musicians. She was like, I'm telling you, like, you really could make some money doing this shit. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to get into it, but she was like, Ashley, I'm telling you, like, people would pay for some of the shit you be saying. I mean, it's crazy. I'm going to have to tell her you said that.
Yeah, because I almost was like, well, you know, I mean, it's too late now because it's already been done. But I wanted to be like, well, you know, I did help you with that freestyle, so let me get that line.
Listen, I was just about to say, when you had said that line, that freestyle so crazy because, okay, like, even when we go back to Drake, everybody be like, oh, you got ghostwriters and shit, but, like, most of these musicians and artists are having collaborative effort on their work, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I gotta send you my video on YouTube then. I made a video about songwriter versus ghostwriter.
That's good.
See,
I like that.
Yeah. So for example, when I helped you with that shit for that freestyle, that's songwriting. I didn't write the whole verse. Ghostwriting is when you don't write nothing.
And is when the person who helps you doesn't get any public accolades.
Yeah. Then I left that out the video, but yeah, I would have said that too. But see, like I said, I be freestyling. I don't do the what's the name. But like, but yeah, it's like that's that, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, and then I was saying in the video, I'm like, you honestly think if somebody if you a big entity, that you know got these sold out tours. That'd be that shit when you forget something at the stuff.
I'm praying I got enough to get through.
Second and 6.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, you know, if you a successful touring artist and you gotta do interviews and you gotta do features and you gotta, you know, you got brand deals and then you gotta, you know, you may be doing cameos on different shows and all that. Like, you ain't got time to creatively write all that shit and it be number one. It takes a collective, and then when you a part of a big entity like an Interscope, they gonna make the best investments for you to have the best product.
Okay, so I'm gonna pretend we back in college or high school when we had to write papers about the similarities between two things. If I was your teacher, I would say,
taken down at the 46-yard
Chris, write me a paper on the similarities and synopsis between rap culture having to be
back in the league is supposed
a
to do exactly what we just saw there.
writing
Pick up the first down.
versus every other genre. Nobody bashes and shames when Taylor Swift had writers or Rihanna had writers or whatever. But in hip hop, you're bashed and shamed if you don't do it by yourself. And it's a similarity between black people in America. We're the only culture who takes pride in trying to get something out of the mud, where everybody else is gaining and leveraging off of generational wealth or something that was passed down to them, or just having the resources to, you know, climb up a ladder. But it's the same thing in music. Like, hip-hop is the only genre where you can really get shamed for not writing the whole verse.
Damn, Damn, you snapped again when you said this shit about, you know, in our community how we are. That's why we so far behind.
It's like in the black community, oh, I had to move out of my mama's house and get out the mud. Okay, but your mama should have had something to give to you. You shouldn't have had that. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. That's great, but I hope you're not the last. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I'm saying. Like, it's not fair, but it's like we're conditioned on every level to try to get it out the mud, even with the music or the hip hop or rap scene. Anybody else, a country artist or something, you look at them for what they are. They are what the equivalent to the actor in a movie. Hey, if they wrote or produced something in the movie, great. But if they just played their role as the face of the show, then that's all they did. But hip hop is not the same. Like, niggas know this shit was built and birthed out of niggas spitting and boom dapping and putting their heart on the track.
Well, also, it's really only a problem in rap if you talking like you the best. You know, if you ain't on that shit, like Will Smith. Will Smith ain't out here saying he the best rapper alive, so niggas ain't tripping off how Nas wrote Summertime. So, but nah, I get it, man. Like, cause
okay, that's a good point. So with that being said, is there room for niggas to be rapping if they not doing it for sport? Because y'all said if you're not out here trying to compete, what you rapping for?
well, it's just it's a category, you know, like for that. You know, like if you trying to be in that Jay-Z Nas lane,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Or if you just trying to be a feel-good rapper like
Yeah, now Kanye ain't trying to be the best rapper. He trying to be the best entertainer and shit. Like overall, like he trying to compete, and he is. He's trying to compete with the Michael Jackson glove, the Jordan shoes with the Yeezys. So like he passed rap. He just used rap as a medium to, you know, to commercialize all the shit he trying to push.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury.
Yeah, so you know, but Drake, you know, done made claims of being the best rapper. So it's like you opened up that door.
Newton on first down. On the move to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they're avoiding giving up a huge play in one of their first tests.
Yeah, it's just about what lane you're trying to be in, you know.
14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
So I never known, like, who is your favorite rapper?
Underneath, he's got Olsen.
Yeah, like who your favorite rapper of all time?
And it'll be second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution
I don't know
here.
if I have a favorite rapper of all time.
That's what I'm finna say. I never really just heard you talk about one specific, so that's why I figured.
Execution isn't there. They've been flawless
Yeah, I don't even think I have a favorite rapper of all
well
time.
prepared, and excited to start this.
And he will take it across.
Funny story.
Touchdown. 27 yards for Christian McCaffrey.
Rapping
And the
people always
Panthers are on the board first
I
here
had a
this
lot
afternoon.
of knowledge on rap, but I
Extra
didn't.
point by Gain is up and good.
I
And
grew
it's
up in a
now a
household where
7-0
my
game.
dad was very big on making sure I didn't listen to anything vulgar.
And the last
So
play on the drive,
anytime
the touchdown run
I
for
really got a
Christian
hit of
McCaffrey.
anything was, my mom played her TLC album
They'll
or
elect to bring it
her
out here
Destiny
from the
Child
end
album
zone.
or
And all
if
deep
I
in
was
his
in my
own
mom's
territory, he coughs up the
little
football.
friend's car and
He takes it
played Walk Walk
to the end
Chicken.
zone.
You know
It's
what I'm
a
saying? Like,
fumble recovery
I didn't have a
and
lot of,
touchdown for the Panthers. Here's Gay now to add the extra point.
You can't hear? I didn't have a lot of experiences like when
And it's
people
good,
like,
and they have jumped
I
out
grew
to a
up
quick
where on
14-0
Sunday
first
morning,
quarter lead.
my parents was just
The
blasting
scoop and score, always an exciting play in
hip-hop
football,
or
and we
old
witnessed it there,
church
grabbing
music or
it off
old
the
school
ground,
R&B.
and then rumbling
I
it
didn't
into the
grow
end zone
up
for
knowing
6.
my
And here comes a
roots
return
like
from
that.
just beyond the goal line.
So,
And
like, for example, my first time seeing Friday,
good coverage as he's dropped it to 7.
I remember he was like, you ain't never seen Friday, but it was like, that's just, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't allowed to see that type of shit. So,
They've been
believe it or
outplayed
not,
early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up
moments
first and
with
10.
rap were like, my dad put me on
3 yards on the pickup
Will
there, and it'll be
Smith
second
and Jazzy
down.
So I would like blast that Nightmare on Elm Street, Summertime, all that shit. Like I knew that whole album before. I knew bar for bar.
Allow their defense to get a chance to catch
The
their breath,
Tupac song,
settle down, and relax a little
Until
bit
the End
after
of
they just
Time.
gave up the
My
score.
dad was singing.
They keep it on the
And he
ground. This
loved
time
that
it's
song.
Davis.
So that was probably like
And he's got it past the 30
crazy as it
before
got.
he's hit
Feel
and
me?
dropped.
So
That's still some good hip hop though.
You're down early. How do you get back
it
in the
was,
game?
it
Maybe
wasn't
establish the
bad.
run. I think they're
But
trying to do
you
that.
gotta think about what I missed out on. I ain't never get that pop Biggie Jay-Z shit, and I always felt kind of left out because people be so passionate about it, but it's not a nostalgic thing for me because I kind of got sheltered from it. You see what I'm saying? So when I started digging out music on my own, as a woman and me not growing.
In motion, left goes a tight end.
Oh, I love that. As a woman, number one. And then as a person who can't relate to the hood shit most of the niggas was talking about, it never did nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would listen to it, but I just was like, okay, these niggas spitting, but I just don't feel like I gotta just, like, go out of my way to listen to young Jay-Z. And it didn't speak to me. Like, that's some crazy shit to say because the legends in the game, but it wasn't until J. Cole came on the scene that I felt like, oh, I can relate to this. Like, he's talking about something I can relate to. So I became extremely obsessed with Dreamville J. Cole. I wanted to sign. I did everything in my power to try to get recognized by them. But that was probably the most obsessed as far as like somebody's music that I had ever gotten in the game. You know what I'm saying? Will I listen to other stuff? Yeah, but like if I had to say what artist just really had me like wrapped up, it would definitely be my teenage college years of J. Cole.
Yeah,
It's so crazy because niggas gonna be like, there's so many niggas way better, but it's like for me, by the time I was able to experience music on my own, he was coming out and it felt like he was talking about shit that made sense to my life versus other ones. I just felt like I was just appreciating their bars, but it wasn't
a connection. Yeah, the connection wasn't there like it was with Cole.
It wasn't there. So if you so I think that's kind of like even growing up, I kind of enjoyed like Wiz Khalifa and stuff too, because it's
See, I was gonna throw that out there too. That's crazy. I was gonna throw Wiz out there.
Yeah. I like Wiz Khalifa too, because I felt like it was for the white kid or the kid who ain't necessarily just talking about the struggle, but it's they got their struggle, but it ain't like, oh, somebody got shot, and you know I gotta talk about this shit. I mean, it might be thrown in there, but it's not like some whole hood game shit, you know what I'm saying?
They go play
And
action
I think
here on
now that
first
I'm talking
down.
about it, I'm gonna bring the business, don't laugh. It was really a strategic move for them at the time, because I bet you the increase of white listeners was probably at an all-time high in the early 2000s, in the early 10s, especially after you had the whole NWA kind of start that movement of like them really wanting to be on that shit when it wasn't. So for some rappers to kind of touch base on a topic that wasn't being talked about but still keep it kind of gangster, that probably definitely opened up album sales, because now you got kids who might not necessarily come from the struggle per se, but they still can relate and then still get a taste of that little hood slang, but it's still relatable. It ain't always just straight up, you know, some shit these niggas don't know nothing about. Because Wiz Khalifa, when I looked up his net worth back in college, he was making more than all of our favorite rappers. But it's crazy because look at his idols, you know what I'm saying? So that's a little off topic, but I wonder if that was like strategically done or if they just kind of landed where they needed to land at the time. But so yeah, I guess I had to say J. Cole because that's who I you know, fuck with the most. But it's so crazy because when I started rapping, the only reason why I started rapping was because I was a poet since I was 2. My mom had me read when I was 2. She had me doing monologues when I was 3. And so I would like do Maya Angelou poems and all that. So I always would write. Like I've been writing since I was a kid. And I remember
and they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position past the 40-yard line.
So crazy. But she said,
that one you see often there is he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time. And going to give this offense better field position.
It's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this. And most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price.
She said, write a song about the 8-person speech. It's called extra crazy. And so I had wrote a song about it. And everybody was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can spit. And so that's when I started to realize, like, hey, this is really like, I really enjoy putting my poems to a beat. So that's when I started playing around with putting music behind my poems. But I never, you know, grew up thinking like, oh man, you know, I got a love for rap like that. That's what's so crazy about it. I didn't grow up with that storyline. And it's like, I think it's something I was kind of ashamed of for a while because when you hear people doing their interviews, everybody got the same storyline. Like, oh man, you know, when I grew up, man, I had this love for it, bro. You know, I was listening to it back when I was a youngin'. I don't have that story. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like really embarrassed. Like I was getting my black card took because I couldn't tell you none of them songs. When my friends in college would be talking about what they grew up on, I ain't had none of them. You know, say I had.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened, man. And I think me being long-winded is because I think I'm just now realizing, like, wow, I really kept it bottled up.
I mean,
I'm trying to work on not talking so much.
But that's what make hip hop though. Like,
yeah, I know it, but you know, peer pressure be real, man. When you hear everybody talking about their favorite Jay-Z and Nas and all that, you can't relate to it, but you call yourself a rapper, you know what I'm saying? It can make you feel like, well, how the fuck you gonna be out here spitting if you ain't even done your due diligence to listen to the folks? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I never understood the hype behind Illmatic. Like, I don't get it.
And they built that trust.
It's the same thing with, like, if you say you want to be a writer, someone's going to be like, well, have you watched every Spike Lee movie? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, or a comedian. Like, how you going to try to be a comedian, but you ain't even took the time breaks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I can see not being aware of them, but saying, like, they be like, if Richard Pryor not in your top, if he not your number one, it don't mean. I'm like, bro, I don't get it. Like, just like I don't get Dave Chappelle.
I feel like people be afraid that, like, shit gonna die out if we don't maintain, like, a certain level of, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's complete right around the end.
Yeah, it must be. Cause I'm like, you ain't. I like when I hear new rap. Yeah, I like when I hear new rappers and they top 5 is a bunch of niggas you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you don't have to keep saying Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas, man. Like, it's too many rappers that just say them.
Yeah, that shit crazy, but it's crazy now because music in general, like stuff I listen to, is not mainstream for real. And I'm so disconnected from the rap scene as a whole that it's hard for me to talk music with people anyway. I definitely... Okay, I'm going to tell you where I'm at with music. It's like I'm dibbling and dabbling in genres that I'm just now discovering I like, but I'm not confident enough to discuss those genres with people who know the artists in those genres. Like, for example, like if I said to a jazz head, I like jazz, they're going to be like, oh my God, me too. Who's your favorite jazz player? And I'm going to be like, see, that's the thing. I don't know their names yet. I just know I like the melodies. I like the tones. I got a few songs saved in a playlist, but I don't know these niggas off the top of my head because I just got over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with music. Like, I am in some genres that I didn't even know existed, and I'm like, damn, this is cool, but I'm not so deep off in them yet that I can tell you, like, man, this nigga, Old Man Sailor, he that nigga. Like, I can't tell you these niggas names, nothing. And then with rap and R&B, it's just like, mainstream-wise, I just can't do it. It just doesn't feed me. So, once again, if it ain't Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and them, I can't tell you who these niggas are. I don't know who these women are. If it ain't something they throwing down my throat like Ice Spice, I can't tell you what they look like. I don't know. And I hate that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I feel like I'm like on some old head shit. Like, you'll catch me somewhere in like a club somewhere listening to a nigga play the piano before I see it.
Listen to a nigga play the piano is hilarious.
Before you find me, you know, at Rolling Loud. Oh, those are gorgeous. You are so talented. Wow. Wow, it looks like a cinnamon roll. That is beautiful. Wow. He says Play-Doh. Good job. I'll be right back. But that's something that I want to start doing though. Like, I want to start getting back to knowing more about the people behind the music. I think when you're younger, you take more time to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know where they come from and all that. Now I just be like, hey, I need something to help me unwind for the day. I don't be knowing nothing about nobody.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
I mean, but in your situation, man, you got a lot of responsibility, so it's probably...
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
So much of this music be so low vibrational, man. I just can't use it. I can't, like, even some of my old favorite songs, I'm like, bro, I just don't want to hear this today. So to speak. I give a fuck.
What's some old songs you can't listen to?
Okay, so like I'm about to eat it.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Newton now to throw. Steps away. There he goes, left side. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he reflects.
Even like Cole and shit, like I used to be like a big boss fan shit. I don't be wanting to hear this.
Man, that nigga really ass.
I don't be wanting, and it's not that the music not good, it's just the topic of discussion. I don't hear this. Even like these R&B songs, like Janae, I go and shit. I love her sound, but I don't want to hear this shit. SZA definitely don't want to hear this shit. Because you sound very, you know,
back to throw.
Good, but it's just like outside of, you know, me being in a trance because of the melody that you in. With studying, it's so low vibrational. I don't want to hear this shit. I'm tired of struggle music. I'm tired of being hurt and abused and why you don't love me music. I'm tired of, like, I'm finna prove my haters wrong music. I'm just tired of this shit. It's like, it's hard for me to listen to it because it drains my energy. Because I feel like no matter, I'm at a place in my like spiritual journey where I can't turn it off. Like I can't just be like, I'm not gonna pay attention to that. It's just like, bro, no, okay. I don't need to hear y'all talk about, you know. And here's the thing, it doesn't mean the music is bad. It just doesn't fit me.
Yeah, it's just not for you. For where you at in your life.
Exactly, because there's somebody out there where that same music, like you said, say their whole life. And at one point, that music did save my life. It did give me motivation to get through my day. But as of right now, that shit is not doing shit for me but irritating. So I have to turn it off. Now, there be certain days when I'm in the spirit for that type of shit, and I'll let that shit ride. But the type of, okay, I'm gonna send you. You gonna laugh. I'm gonna send you the type of shit I play. I'm talking about, this is one of my favorite.
Both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips
one of my
first,
favorite things.
anyone counter,
And
and get things going in their direction.
I can work out to this, I can read to this, I can clean up to this, I can dance to this. This is one of my favorite artists right now. And he is just like an overall artist.
An inside give. Here's Portis.
He plays like 23 instruments.
And that's enough for the first. 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
And in this particular video, he's doing this whole set live with all the instruments by himself. And
yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up.
He chooses location based off of the vibe that he's going for. But this one was in Bolivia on the
primary job is defending against the pass. You often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield.
Flat, assault flat. He did this one on one of Bolivia's salt flats.
They'll throw.
I be listening to shit like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to a lot of the shit that I listened to in the last 10 years. It just don't, resonate with me right now. And that's fine, but it makes me feel isolated because I can't really talk about it with nobody.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Okay, don't mix it all up.
Back to throw now on first down.
I sent you a link. You gotta check out right now.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna check it out later, but
when you listen to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, this artist, he has worked with a lot of artists that we respect, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of rappers and shit like that. But if you've heard a couple of his songs, you know that song, T-A-D-O-W to Dallas, and I got it like,
I thought that's who you was gonna say at first, him.
Yeah, I think, that's one of his songs.
Escaping the pressure
but that was him, that was him collaborating with another artist.
Yeah, that song went diamond in my headphones.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Actually got a song with Boss. He got a song with a good bit of folks. Like he one of them musicians to where like, they used to be fucking with him a long way. But I ended up checking out his music by itself, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the type of shit that I'm trying to be. And it was crazy because right before I discovered him, I kept saying, damn man, I be playing music, but nothing's speaking to me. Like I can't find nothing that I want to do. Like when you just going through every artist and it finally dawns on you, man, I need some new music in my life because nothing is speaking to me. And I finally found him, and then that led me to discovering some whole other people that I didn't know existed. And I'm like, damn, it's crazy how your spirit gets to a place where you don't know what you want in life. But whatever it is you got right now just ain't it. Like, damn, none of these songs that I know or I have ever heard in my life, even from like elementary school. I couldn't find nothing that was speaking to me. I'm like, yeah, I probably need to find some genres of music. And then that's when I started discovering like electronic jazz and black ambient music and shit like that. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know what the fuck ambient music was. And yeah, it's been a cool journey for real. He had a show in New York, and I was like, man, if I didn't have responsibilities, I would do some real like impulsive shit. It was around Christmas time, I think. I was like, I'd just really fly up there to Brooklyn and see this nigga perform live. Like, it's been a while since I've found some music. I'm like, damn. I like dead ass go fly to. You know how people be doing that shit for Beyonce? Like that's how I felt. Like man, I would love to see him play these instruments live, man. Because if he be turning me up that much, just off of the recordings, I can only imagine what it would be like to him do it live.
That's the type of impact I want to have on people, man. Like they do some shit like that.
And that's why I was saying, when we talked last time, I understood where he's coming from because it makes sense. It might not be for me in that moment, like even with the Drake and Kendrick's view, but it's just not for me. It doesn't take away from the impact they making on other listeners.
Right, absolutely.
And you know, as long as people making a good impact, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, where you at in your life spiritually, and that's with all things. Where you at in your life, there's certain things you don't put up with. Some people walk out your life because they at a certain place in their life where the shit you on is gonna take them out of where they at. And people be taking that shit personally. We all have probably been toxic to somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's just human nature. Yeah, you know. Yeah, so it's like, it really don't even be personal. It's just like, you know, as a kid growing up, you watch a lot of horror movies because it's like a sensation. But when you get older and, you know, you experience real horrors in life, you don't want for your entertainment to watch somebody get cut up. You know what I'm saying? It don't do it for you.
When you realize how much power you have within yourself, you can risk manifesting shit that you done took in just for entertainment.
Exactly.
And me personally, I've been through too much crazy shit that is not coincidental because it happens too often, good and bad, for me to realize that like I can't play around with shit that I know I have too much power to manifest into reality. So I just stay away from shit. Like I'm starting to realize that like, okay, I'm gonna put you in perspective. This is not law. This ain't none I read in the book. This is just a theory I recently came up with. Okay, like with my personality, I will wake up super hyped, right? And instead of, okay, like I have a YouTube video I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna put out or not, but the topic is, am I in love with them or was I in love with myself? And it's basically talking about how, like, you know me, I'm a real like bubbly person, right? Like growing up, big people pleaser, big life of the party, big, like I'm gonna make sure everybody feel good in the room, put myself last to pour into everybody on some like, if I gotta make them laugh or if I gotta just overexhaust myself in some way, I'm gonna make sure everybody around me feel comfortable, even if it's at the expense of in my own life. So I started thinking recently, like, when I get that energetic urge to turn up and pour into somebody in whatever way I do, whether it's romantic, platonic, or whatever, I'm really just taking my potential manifestation of the day and pouring it into outward things minus myself. So I'm leaving myself drained, but I gave all my potential creativity and power away. And the thing is, yes, you're supposed to go into the world and be a good citizen and smile and, hey, how you doing, this and that. You're supposed to pour into your lover. You're supposed to pour into your kids, this and that. But if you doing it in a place where, in my chakra book, it calls a hyperactive heart chakra, you're doing it from the same place as somebody who don't give love at all. It's really just a fear of abandonment and a fear of being alone. So even though everybody might say, oh, Grandma Shirley had a good heart, she always gave her last, but if she really loved herself, she wouldn't give her last. You feel me? So it's like, on a deeper level, when you look at, like, if you date somebody who ain't no good for you, but you saw the potential in them, what really happened, from my theory, is you really just fell in love with the potential of them being the best self that they could be through your eyes, even if that wasn't the vision they had for themselves, which really means that you saw something in them that motivated you to want to be your better self. But they never really were that thing you saw, you just saw it. So instead of just being that for yourself, you got with them hoping that if you could help them be it, it would motivate you to be it. But they were never that. So when they let you down, now you mad because they didn't live up to the delusion and illusions you fed yourself. When if you would have took this same potential creativity and manifestation power, you could have just poured it into yourself the whole time. For example, if you see like a strong ass person, like let's say you see a girl working out and you're like, oh, she's so fit and she's so talented, this and that. You might be like, oh man, that's something I want to be. So I'm finna like link up with her so I can be that. But then you get around her and find out really she be snacking on cakes and shit just like you. She's got a better metabolism. So now you're a little disappointed because you thought she was going to be sitting up here motivating you to do right. When in reality, she can eat a cupcake and still keep her abs as long as she go to the gym once a week. But you can go to the gym 5 days a week and eat one cupcake and not gain no gains. And the whole time you was like, you were supposed to turn me up. Well, that's not their responsibility. You should have just turned yourself up, but you was looking for somebody to be that thing for you. So you got to realize the potentiality of somebody that you see in them is really you just reflecting your hopes and dreams into somebody else. But instead of doing that, you just pour it into other people, and when they let you down, it just gives you more of an excuse to be stagnant in the stage that you in. So now, when I be outside, or when I'm listening to music, or when I'm hanging around people, I be like, before I give this any type of time or energy, where could I take this energy that I have, even if it's just me having a listening ear? Okay, where could I put this energy somewhere else? Because when the day is over and I'm tired as fuck and I'm mad because I ain't get shit done, well, where did I put my energy? Did I put it into my friend who was bitching about a nigga she ain't gonna leave? Did I put it into somebody who ain't doing nothing for me? You know what I'm saying? It really gets that deep. So then when I think about music, I'm like, bruh, if all this woman doing is singing about ain't shit niggas and how she always get her heart broke, how the fuck I'm gonna manifest a good nigga then? I'm like literally listening to this shit as an affirmation into my subconscious, and then I'm expecting to get better. So I just be trying. Obviously, I fall short because sometimes you just want to turn the fuck up. But I try my best to like really be more intentional with how I spend my power in my daily activities, because it literally feels like a battery that just slowly drains until you get into the bed and then you look up and be like, if I consistently do that for 30 days, I'm going to be somewhere I don't want to be because I didn't take the time to use my potentiality towards myself. So, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just like some shit I've been on lately.
Now, you've been on this for a minute.
Like, for real, man, because I'm really realizing, like, they got this shit designed to keep us in the same watch load. Like, for real.
Nah, I feel you. Now I understand even more now, like, to be careful what I even bring up to you, because I see you definitely want to protect your energy and what you indulge in.
Yeah. Like, it's so bad now that, like, my cell phone, yes, Kiko. Oh, you made me a birthday cake. Hold on, let me see. Oh, thank you. That is so cute. Is that my candle? Let me blow it out. Can I eat it? Okay, let me get you a knife. It's so bad now, Chris. that when I see myself doing some low vibrational shit, I be mad because in my mind, like I practice. Like I'm gonna give you an example. I'm trying to work on like not talking so much, which you see I'm struggling with, and two, not letting things trigger me all the time. Like just because somebody don't agree with me, I don't gotta get all loud and defensive. And it's like I tell myself that, but then when I'm caught up in the moment, I'll be like, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? I done already spoke. Instead of allowing myself to just calmly listen and be like, hey, their feelings are valid, even if that offends you. Their opinion might offend you. Oh, thank you, baby. Let me get some.
That's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
That is delicious.
I'm on the plus side of 30.
Like, let's say you be like, man, based on my experience, most black women ain't shit. Okay, whoa.
Oh, God, that sounds crazy.
That might offend me real bad, right? Because I'm a black woman, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it should.
That shit really hurt. But I gotta realize that, like, it's not my journey. And if you've been hurt by 10 black women, then your reality is that you feel like,
it's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it
go ahead and cut it for me, baby.
Well, we talk all the time about playing
Oh, that's
situational
delicious.
football right now. I
Is
think
that
the scoreboard
blueberry?
is dictating what they need
Okay,
to do.
give me a little
Where
bit.
they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield. Take their
Yummy.
shots,
Okay, I'll be
try to
right
get
back.
Big chunks of yardage in a short amount.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there.
You got more? Okay, let me finish this. I'm coming right back. It's not for me to try to change your mind just by saying I don't think you're like, hey, that ain't right for you to say. How am I gonna tell you what's right or wrong to say? Because I might say some shit that based off of your experience as the main character in life is not the same. Like we all the main character and we all play side roles in everybody's story. So it's not up to me to say, well, Chris, like for example, when you were saying your grandma was this and that, some people gonna be like, well, Chris, that's fucked up for you to say. But it's not their place to say how you feel. It might not be how they would expect to feel, but they basing it off of their relationship with their grandma. They don't have the relationship you had with your grandma. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was messing with this dude, and he said, I can read your face and know exactly what you're thinking. And he said, you gotta learn how to get that under control, because niggas should never be able to see what's on your mind just off of how your face look. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Basically, like, you gotta develop a poker face.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sad. Like, I was happy in that moment, but it's just the fact that, like, that shit stuck with me, because he was like, you know what I'm saying? It's a time and place for your face to basically speak whatever's on your mind, but it shouldn't just be like you unaware that you're telling it all just off your face expression. And I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That is something that as I get older, I'm starting to realize that, like, I think, thank you. I think people are realizing that, like, I'm an open book.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's all.
Really a good thing, because I've been a very naive, gullible type of motherfucker growing up, where I just think everybody got my best intention, and everybody I tell my business to, well, I got their back, so they got mine. And it's not saying that I haven't learned from it, but it's still a bad habit that I have, to where if somebody say some shit, I'm that, like, not still like the right activist friend, but I'm that friend who always got something to say. Like, hold on, you know, let me speak for the people, or like, let me, you know, I digress. Like, I was on the debate team growing up, you know what I'm saying? So I naturally have this debative spirit, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want everybody to know what's in your hand based off of how you emotionally react to every situation. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And also, man, you just got a great heart, and that's one of the cons of when you.
Not no slimy ass nigga.
Yeah, when you ain't. Yeah, I'm gonna say when you ain't slime, you know, people take advantage of that, you know. But that was some great.
On you to protect yourself.
Yeah, that was some great advice, you know, he gave you, because like you do, man, you can't always wear your you can't wear your heart on your sleeve because you know what I'm saying. They gave us a washing machine for a reason.
Yeah.
Like you gotta wash your clothes sometimes, and you can't leave them stains on you to show like.
I mean, that was when he said that. I feel like I've had somebody say something similar to me before, but he said it to me like straight up, and we didn't talk long, but. You know, sometimes when people come in your life.
Yeah, I found that out too. I just found that out. Like, that shit real. Like, that's how I know angels and shit, all that type of shit.
Hold on. What do you say?
That's why I know it's real shit about like angels, because for somebody to come in your life for a season, sometimes it's just a warning, or it can be to let you know, like, hey, I was just here to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? And you will never talk to him again.
Yeah, you know, I had a friend, or more like an associate, really. But he was like, I just left the gym, but I'm mad because the girl that was supposed to be my gym partner, she never really became my gym partner. He said, I saw her, and this kind of go back to what I was trying to explain earlier about seeing potentiality in somebody else. It's actually a great example. He said, I saw her working out on Facebook all the time. And I was like, hey, I would love to come with you because, you know what I'm saying, you seem to be really consistent. But I guess she had just started, like she needed to lose some weight too. So it was on some like, I'm fat and you fat, but you seem like you serious about losing the weight. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you've been going, let me go. So he said they went to the gym together one time. And he said they never went to the gym together again. And now he's 3 months in on working out 5 times a week, but he doing it by himself. And it's just fucked up that the girl that he was supposed to be doing it with that inspired him to do it ain't nowhere to be found. I said, but have you ever thought about the fact that maybe her sole purpose was just to motivate you to get your ass up and go? That might have just been it. Like, it was never intended for her to be your long-term gym partner. It was just, you was inspired by her working out, so you went to the gym with her one time, and you kept going. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes life be like that. Like, somebody really can come into your life just to alter your path and get the fuck on.
And that type of a number.
Yeah, that would happen with me with
better or
Alex.
worse, really. That's why you gotta know when it's some shit you need to be indulging in, because it could be for better or worse.
Yep, that's what happened with Alex, man. She did that to me.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because I had a situation. I think I told you about it. It wasn't exactly the same as you and Alice, but it's similar in ways as far as just that toxic bond you have, where it's just like, you know, you just feel like attached to them in a way to where it's like, you know, you need to stay away from them, but it wasn't just the easiest thing to do at first. And as time has went on, like, I'm good now. But that shit taught me a lot because, like, I wasn't no strong, like, believer in, like, everybody you mess with, you gonna form a soul tie with. But after that situation I had, I really started to realize, like, bro, you cannot just be out here fucking around for fun, bro, because motherfuckers really be carrying demons on them, man. And even when you done messing with them, you can still feel the consequences of just that time you spent with them. That shit get crazy. Because, you know, we be laughing when motherfuckers be sitting up here going back to shit that don't serve them and like, oh, she's so dumb, she's so stupid, why she messing around with him? Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But then at the same time, it's like, we don't understand like what battle they really going through with themselves to stay away from that person. That trauma bonding shit be real, man.
I knew you was going to say that word.
I mean, shit, it's real because you really can see when people hear trauma bond, they be thinking about just typical like, oh, you had a sad story, I had a sad story, and that's what kind of like united us to be, you know, together or form a friendship or relationship. But it really comes down to somebody's spirit preying on things that you lack and the things that you subconsciously desire that you refuse to acknowledge within yourself. And when somebody give you that shit, but in a toxic way, even though the side effects are terrible, it's hard to let it go because you finally feel that sensation that you never knew you could really feel. And that shit could be something embedded in lust or trust or finances. It's so many things. It's not always just somebody having sex with somebody. But like spirits really come leech onto you knowing that like you have a craving for that shit. It's really like sugar, man.
Dang, so what was the trauma bond thing you had with the dude? Like, what was it? Was it lust?
So what it was with me and him was he showed me a lot of attention in ways that I craved. But had abandonment issues from the relationship I had with my father. So he would be like very affectionate, and we had like it was the best sex I ever had in my life. Great conversation. You know, I'm a sapiosexual, you're a sapiosexual. We get off on intelligent conversation. So imagine like when it's hot, but since we weren't together, whenever we weren't in each other's presence, it was cold. So it was very toxic. Like when I'm with you, I feel like I'm the only girl in the world and that we a match made in heaven. But when I'm not around you, you know what I'm saying? I don't really hear from you until you're ready to fuck again or spend time again, which is gonna lead to fucking or doing whatever. But I craved that energy I had when I was with him so much that even though it left me feeling depleted and empty when I was not around him, I would still continue to mess with him because of the high I got when I was with him. You know what I'm saying? And what really was the thing was, you done? Okay, let me put this up. What really was the catch was, it wasn't that he was really that great, but once again, he represented everything that I thought I wanted. I put him on a pedestal in my mind of like, he's going to be what I want to be for myself, and then also unhealthy love attachment to men where chasing my father's love resulted in me trying to constantly chase the love of a man that doesn't want me versus allowing a man who is showing that with his actions he's stable and consistent with me. That's not something that I was attracted to because I was attracted to toxic love dynamics. You see what I'm saying? So it was like this vicious psychology cycle of me trying to make this man be something that he never was trying to be with me, all because of the way he made me feel. But in my mind, I just felt like if he could just see what I see, this shit will be perfect. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, cut me a slice. But at the time, I really thought, oh, he does care about me. He just has some shit he need to work through himself, not realizing that at the end of the day, that's not what love is. But because of how I grew up, my mind is telling me this is love and it's not. You see what I'm saying? So,
wow, that was beautifully stated. Like,
for real?
Hell yeah, like, I actually understood you because the other shit I was like, you lost me on some parts, but I get this, like, for real.
Thank you, baby.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you. But go ahead, what you saying? I'm sorry, she gave me some Play-Doh.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, I really understand what you mean by this because I was like on some of the other stuff, I kind of got lost. But I know that what happened when you talking so long-winded. You probably thought you said something you were trying to cover, but Yeah, I know what you mean. I was seeing myself in when you were describing them situations. I'm like, damn. But you know,
it's crazy because I just recently really figured out in the last year and a half what the fuck was going on and why I was so obsessed with the situation. Because I was like, why did this situation have such a hold on me? But I had to really go digging for answers psychologically to understand,
so
why I even felt like that.
yeah,
Hold on, man.
I really respect how honest you are, man. Because a lot of people just can't say shit like that. They want to make it seem like, oh, I was just on some dumb shit, young and dumb. No, it's deeper than that.
It's one thing I've always had an issue with was being critiqued, and I realize it's because I tried so hard growing up to be perfect that anytime I was falling short, that shit triggered me because I'm like, how am I falling short when I'm giving it all I got? I'm giving it 200%, and niggas out here giving it 20. Even in school, if the teacher said, Ashley, I'm sending a note home, I'd be busting out in tears because it's badass kids doing crazy ass shit, but yet I done got in trouble because, I was talking in the middle of a lecture or some shit, which, once again, I shouldn't have been doing, but it's like when you try to compare your sin to the next sin, and you feel like, man, what was me laughing in the back of the class one time comparing to this nigga throwing up middle fingers and shit? Trying to be a goody two-shoes was something I think I tried to do to stay in an area of hey, I ain't gonna never be on that side of the fence. But as I'm getting older, I'm like, you can't really grow being there all the time.
Yeah, you gotta get your hands dirty.
Nobody's gonna be perfect, and leaning into your shadow side is really where the growth is at. And it's hard to say at first, but then once you own it, can't nobody take it and use it against you.
And the Broncos drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards.
That must have been something out that book, because I ain't never heard that before. You said,
defensively by now,
your shadow side?
He has
Yeah, because they knew coming
just basically, I'll give you an example, the solar eclipse.
He can run the football.
Everybody was so shook off the solar eclipse because the sky was going to be dark for a few minutes or whatever, but it just really was a deeper meaning to me to see people so afraid of their shadow side, because it's like, okay, the sun represents your outward appearance, right? That's you showing your best side to the world. We'll call the sun Instagram. And then let's just say what's in your text messages is your shadow side. It's you behind closed doors being your real self, you know what I'm saying? Or what you Googled, searched on the internet, something that's private. And that's what the moon represents. The moon represents your inward personality, who you are internally versus who you show to your coworkers and your friends or the world, you know what I'm saying? And so anytime people are put in a position to really show their true self, they get anxious because it makes them uncomfortable. Because if you haven't given your shadow side the time and the acknowledgement that it deserves, that's how niggas always, they downfall be. When somebody expose their shadow side, because it's something that you keep to yourself. You don't want everybody to know about. When you have to realize that ain't nobody perfect. While your shadow side could be you a fitness influencer, but what people don't know is you selling courses on how to lose weight and stop eating sugar. But your secret is you eating cupcakes every day, but you don't get fat when you eat cupcakes. Okay, hold on, baby. So you can do that, and ain't nobody gonna know, and then it come out. And you know what the shadow side is? The shadow side is.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly
hold
right.
on one second,
Hold on to
baby.
that
The shadows. Okay, I don't have one yet. I have to make you one. The shadow side is if you a big preacher. Yes. Okay, you have to wait. I don't have one right now. The shadow side is something about yourself that you're not really proud of. So, you might be a big nigga, church pastor preaching the word of God, but, you know, you secretly indulge in shit that goes totally against what you preaching to the masses. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that people hide. But at the same time, that's why they say, like, you should just be you, because whatever's done in dark gonna come to the light. For example, the solar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, the moon gonna pass in front of the sun, so it's gonna get exposed. You might as well just be the real you. And everybody just wanna be perfect, man. And that shadow side be eating niggas up, because if you don't even acknowledge your worst self, then imagine when somebody bring it to you and your delusional ass won't even bring it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just go ahead and already have peace with whatever it is. And then you can work on it, but at least have awareness that, like, this is where you aren't the best in your life. So can't nobody use that shit against you. So, yeah.
They'll set up a throw. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind.
I need some more cookie dough. This sucks.
First down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football.
I only got to make 21 cookies today, but this cookie dough ain't stretching as far as I thought it was. I had only made enough for what I thought was, you know, the cookies I got to make, but I need to make some more because I'm missing 3 chocolate chip cookies. But yeah.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Broncos.
Niggas can't fuck with somebody who into the shadow side though, because it ain't nothing you gonna be able to tell them. Like, it's nothing you gonna be able to tell them. They already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't. And then the good thing about it is, it really helps you evolve as a human being, because you gotta know yourself to really better yourself. But if you keep on denying some of your uglier traits, you can't really evolve. You know, positive and negative gotta work together to conduct the current. You feel me? Everything can't always be love and light.
What's some of the ugly traits you had to fix? Because you said,
so like for me, I think it would just be like all kind of random shit. I think one thing that I had recently really started to work on like a couple of years ago was just like a grandiose personality, like thinking that like I'm above others, in the mindset that like they call it a God complex, which is associated with like a narcissistic personality trait, which once again comes from having a narcissistic parent. But just thinking that like coming from a household where like, hey, you know, you're better than others, or like you're special, like almost like you guys give to earth type shit. Like, I'm here to make a special impact. Like, man, I can't even really have friends because niggas just ain't on my thinking level, or they don't get me, or I'm just so mentally above others. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say in certain cases that's not true, but it's a real easy way to isolate yourself. Especially like with the way me and you are as artists, you know, if you don't surround yourself around other thinkers similar to you, you can easily start to feel like, man, I'm just like a special ass nigga, man. And what happens is, when you are young, it can work in your advantage, but then when you get older, you realize, why am I not elevating to the next level? And it's because you subconsciously shy away from anybody who threatens that idea that you are the only special nigga. So when you get around other special niggas, you might think you open to it, but you really feel more comfortable being in a room where everybody looking up to you for the answer. Like, what do we do? What do you think? You know, what's your idea? And then when it comes to being in a room where you absolutely know nothing, you'll feel yourself shine away, because now what you've been told your whole life is now crumbling under the fact that, yes, you are special, but there's other millions of other special niggas too. And you're just, you know what I'm saying? You're not that great. like, you're great. I don't know if you ever seen Leo, the movie about the lizard on Netflix. But he kind of tells it to this rich white girl in the school. He goes, you're great, don't get me wrong, but you're not that great, you know what I'm saying? But because your family taught you to be superior, in your mind you think, oh, I can't be friends with these people in this class, or I can't do this. Like, I got bigger things to do in life. When in reality, we're all just humans here to have an experience and live in love and light. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like how you might see a dude. Shit, Kendrick Lamar talks about it. How much does $1 cost? You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I'm not saying I don't want to help the homeless. That's not what I'm saying. But it's similar to how if two people walked into a bank, the person with the suit on and the good credit gonna get a way better experience than the person dressed in defense. Scraps or whatever. It's almost like that, but it's just like on a personal level of always thinking that, like, I got a deeper, bigger meaning to my life than the niggas around me. So that was one thing. The second thing was not giving love to myself and then overindulging and trying to love others from a scarcity mindset that maybe if I show people I care enough, I'll receive the love back, but not even really having my heart open enough to receive the love. So, purposely going after men that I don't think are going to be able to control me, but then realizing that, it doesn't work that way. You can't be afraid of a dominant personality because you think that person gonna control you, because you went after men that you thought wouldn't try to control you, and you still got fucked over. So once again, it goes down to the same thing. My fear of, for example, my father, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, if I get a man like that, then he gonna be trying to control me. So let me get a guy who ain't gonna try to control me. But shit, them niggas will try to control you too. It's all coming from a scarcity mindset and a fear of being controlled or abandoned or whatever. So I had to try to reshift my mind on that, which I'm still working on. Not shying away from personalities that feel as big as mine, because I only feel comfortable when I'm the only big personality.
Here to wrap this one up. He's gonna want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Another one.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means
being a critique, but not being able to take critique. Like I said, growing up, I'm a cry. You say I did something wrong, I'm crying. But when it's my turn to talk, I'm critiquing everything. That's, you gotta be able to receive criticism so you can grow.
Wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
It be random shit like that, man. Just thinking that you being a good person in life, but you realize that, just because you ain't out here robbing and killing don't mean you ain't got shit to work on. That's the summary of it. Just me realizing that, it's a lot of stuff that's holding me back. But because, when you're comparing it to the deepest, darkest shit in the world, you be like, I'm a good person, why are bad things happening to me? But then you look at your choices and be like, but look what you chose. You know what I'm saying? You manifested this shit out of fear. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, you dealing with what you're dealing with now because of the mindset that you had.
That'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
Yeah.
The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.
And when I think of some other examples, I'll let you know, but it really just be when it come down to self-awareness, why are you where you at? And what role did you play in the madness? You know what I'm saying? Because even when you ain't the person who did somebody wrong, it's still some choices you made that allowed yourself to be in that situation. So, not having confidence, low self-esteem, you know what I'm saying? All kind of shit that, looking back, you be like, that wasn't love for myself. Damn. I really didn't have love for myself, because I just recently got to the point where I learned how to say no. Like, I was definitely one of the people growing up, I did not know how to say no. I just say yes to anything because I'm afraid to say no. So, it just be like little shit you just look back on and be like, damn, you know.
Yeah, my mama got that problem.
Yeah. It's called being an obliger. Obliger is like when you have the personality that, like, if you got to get something done for yourself, you won't be motivated to do it. But if you know it's for somebody else, you'll get up and do it. Like, if a paper ever needs to be written because you gonna get in trouble, well, not even trouble, but like, put it this way. If you needed to make a healthy meal for yourself so you could eat healthy for the day, you might say, that's okay. I'm tired, I'm not getting up. But then if you had like a parent or somebody or a kid who needed that meal made, you would be like, man, let me go and get up so I can make this meal for so and so. But you wouldn't have had that same motivation to do it for yourself. So what ends up happening is everything you need to do for yourself gets put on the back burner, because in life there's always going to be requests from other people, and instead of putting yourself first, you never put yourself first. So the list of things to do that help you just gets longer and longer because you always procrastinating on it for things that you got to do for others. So you're like, man, when you gonna finally get your nails done? Man, I can't. I gotta do this. And when you gonna finally take that trip? Man, I can't. I gotta do this. When you gonna work out? Man, I can't. I gotta do this. I gotta work. I gotta do this. And what you think is happening is, well, I'm showing that I care, and this is gonna benefit me in the long run because I'm showing these people that I'm here and I'm loyal to them. You know what I'm saying? But what you really doing is showing them that you don't love yourself. And when you give somebody an opportunity to use you up, they gonna use you till you run dry. Hence why when motherfuckers be like, I can't take a vacation, my boss need me at work. Okay, but if you have a heart attack on the job, they not even gonna tell your coworkers to go home. They just gonna put a little red flag up, yellow tape up, wheel your dead body out of the office, and have you replaced by Monday. Nobody loves you because you showing that you don't have no boundaries. It's the same reason how the nigga who never helped on the team ends up being the manager, but the hardest working nigga gotta train the manager on how to do his job. Why you didn't make the hardest working nigga the manager? Because you know he has this obliger complex to where he gonna keep on trying to prove himself even when he really should be the CEO of the whole company. When this nigga who don't give a fuck gonna give bare minimum and be snitching on everybody from the top. That's why it's so fucked up, man. Like, this shit runs so deep. That's why they always say never show somebody everything you can do.
Man, I think I need to talk to you once a week. I'm looking at so much shit different now. I'm gonna be like, man, no.
Yeah, because, man, you know what's so crazy? The smart people aren't the people running the businesses. The smart people are the machines. They the arms and the legs. They the ants. They the colony. It's the niggas at the top eating donuts, pointing fingers on go do this, go this. But if you call out of work, you think the CEO of that company know how to run your spot? Hell fuck no. Well, shit, why not just put Chris up there with the CEO? Because if we put your smart ass up here to call all the shots, who gonna fucking run the assembly line? That's why niggas should be playing dumb. They play their way dumb all the way to the top, bro. I seen that shit with every little minimum wage job I had. I was the best worker they ever had. But you think I ever got the raise? Hell no. They gave it to the dumbest, slowest motherfucker in there so they can be the goddamn snitch slave. Because you already know when motherfuckers get a position over somebody, they be so excited, like, oh man, I'm gonna be telling. They be acting different the next day. Like, nigga, you was one of us yesterday.
Yep.
You done got a new tag, and you acting crazy when you wasn't even halfway running the position you had at a lower level. Good. How the fuck you gonna manage somebody?
That's how my boss got fired. She put one of her partners on, and he started ego tripping the next day.
There's really a lot of psychology behind it because it's the same